Hello and welcome back to Whitney Alex Works recap of Bachelor in Paradise Season 8, Episode 2 and 3, Week 2. Before we begin, please like and subscribe here at Whitney Alex Works for more recap videos just like this one. Alright, let's dive into Week 2 of Bachelor in Paradise, where the drama and heartbreaks are just beginning. We left episode 1 off on a cliffhanger with Victoria F coming down to the beach in pursuit of Justin from Katie's season. But the problem is Justin has already formed a connection with Genevieve. Victoria shows up with a date card and she decides to talk to a few of the men. Some of the women on the beach feel Victoria is a threat as she ends up talking to Logan, Johnny, and then Justin. When Victoria is talking to Justin, Genevieve is freaking out, and when Victoria ends up asking Justin on a date, he says yes, and this sends Genevieve over the edge. I guess it's easy to say that Genevieve, calm down, it's only day 2 on the beach, but with the threat of eliminations and with the men having the power of the roses, the women are squirmish. But before Victoria and Justin take off, Justin talks to Genevieve about going on this date with Victoria. Genevieve, despite crying in a bathroom like a minute ago, says it's fine as it's the beginning of this process, but she is hiding her true feelings as she doesn't know what to do if Justin ends up pursuing Victoria. Well, with things up in the air with Justin and Genevieve, Justin and Victoria take off to go off-roading in the jungle, and they have a great connection, but the shadow of Genevieve is looming over this entire date. They end up swimming and having a good time together, but honestly, we don't see much more of this date as it really takes most of the episode to see what happens with these two. Anyway, moving on for now, we catch up with Dr. Kira, who is post-Romeo and is hoping to pursue Casey. Casey, however, tells Michael A that Dr. Kira might be too wild for him, so he's going to actively avoid her. And then we see Michael A hot commodity in paradise, talking to his day 1 connection, Sierra from Clayton's season. They talk about emotional topics, including the loss of Michael's first wife, Laura, who he doesn't want to replace but hopes he can love again. Sierra listens intently as she hopes Michael can be comfortable opening up with her more, and Michael admits he is more guarded when dating, with having a son and honoring his first wife's place in his heart, but he is hoping he can move forward despite his loss. And then Sierra and Michael A kiss, potentially starting a strong new couple in paradise. Meanwhile, other couples are potentially forming on the beach as well, and we see Shanae and Logan hanging out together. This coupling triggers Haley, a night 1 elimination from Clayton's season, to spiral. She wishes she could be the one to pursue Logan, but she's left to doubt and spiral as Shanae ends up getting a date card and asks Logan to go. Logan says yes, but Haley is hoping she can make that connection with Logan work, but when she talks to Logan, he seems severely disinterested. So with Haley really not reading the room, Logan and Shanae take off together, and then it's nighttime day 2 with the rose ceremony planned for the next night, so pressure is on the women to ultimately pursue the men with the roses. We see a date with mutual villains Logan and Shanae, and they end up connecting as they dance and kiss together, and even though they admit that they do like each other, will this relationship continue to blossom? Time will tell, but we can make an educated guess where Logan's rose is going to, and it's not going to Haley. And really some strange things start to happen as Lace finds a suitcase labeled Sally, the contestant from Clayton's season that eliminated herself before the show even started. Long story short here, Lace calls the other women to investigate the suitcase, and soon they open it up and find all her stuff, including a vibrator. This show, I swear, is out of control sometimes, and they feel even more threatened that Sally is supposedly coming down to paradise. Well, things get even weirder when Wells starts a storytime session with the ladies, and really I'll spare you the cringe-worthy acting about how Sally somehow made a producer hide in a car trunk for about 4 hours before breaking off with some guy that she may have had a connection with before Paradise. Honestly, I don't know, it's weird, and in the end, all you really need to know is that Sally didn't get on the plane, but her suitcase made it apparently, but she will show up eventually. It's really a mess of a situation, and it's too weird, but the most valuable info we do do get out of this strange situation is that we learn that Sally and Justin, yes, our man Justin, who was still on his date with Victoria at this time, had a fling with Sally at Stagecoach. And of course, we all groan at the word stagecoach. And really, Genevieve is freaking out again because not only is Victoria on a date with Justin, Sally, who had a connection with Justin, is supposedly coming to Paradise too. And we also learn that it's Genevieve's 27th birthday and she just knows she is going to cry. Well, finally, Justin and Victoria return from their date and Justin ends up talking to Genevieve about where his feelings are at. And Justin can't say where he stands, and really Genevieve and Justin start to bicker a little bit at Justin's indecisiveness, and they end up going their separate ways, kind of. Stay tuned for Justin's decision. Then we catch up with Romeo, who has wooed Jill to his side, and they seem to be doing just fine. That is until Romeo starts to play his cards all wrong, and ends up talking to Brittany from Matt James's season, and Romeo tries to kiss her, which she denies, and it's super awkward as Brittany goes and tells Jill about this. Jill is rightly upset, and then Jill and Romeo argue about what just happened and how Romeo wasted her time, and it seems like already some early couples are falling apart, predictable of course. After day 2's drama, it's the next morning and there is a rose ceremony at night, and suddenly it's nighttime where the women and men get dressed up, and we have a town meeting again where Jesse Palmer checks in with the cast. And we find out that everyone is hating on Romeo and his shifty ways, and really 3 women are at threat of elimination, and this makes things really competitive or hopeless for some. We check in with Jill, who is now talking to Casey and really feels betrayed by Romeo as she knows she has to stand up for herself. Then Romeo heads over and tries to talk to Jill, and Jill lays down the law. She tells him she is hurt by him and that the door is closed between them. It's about respect, and now Romeo is left licking his wounds as he suddenly starts talking to Dr. Kira, who tells him that she doesn't trust him, and Romeo is facing the music as he starts to break down, knowing that he has possibly run out of moves as no one seems to want his rose. Episode 3 starts right where we left off, Romeo's romance woes and the fight for Jacob's rose. 3 women are heading home, but that won't stop Lace, Haley, and Dr. Kira from trying to romance Jacob. Haley and Lace both kiss Jacob, but Dr. Kira has other plans. She dresses up in her version of a leaf outfit and is hoping to get a rose from Jacob at the upcoming rose ceremony. Meanwhile, while secure couples like Brandon and Serene and Andrew and Teddy seem to be hitting it off, there are some major unknowns still. Victoria likes Justin, but Justin might still have feelings for Genevieve, and Justin talks to Victoria, and Victoria makes it known that she does like Justin, but Justin is confused as he heads over and talks to Genevieve, giving her a birthday cake celebrating her 27th birthday. Justin tells Genevieve that he still cares about her, but he isn't sure what to do since it's still early in Paradise. But despite the nice gesture, Genevieve and Justin end up bickering again, and Justin tells Genevieve that he is trying to continue what they have, but really we won't know where these two stand until Justin gives out his rose. Meanwhile, while Hunter and Johnny have been seemingly going strong this whole time, Victoria, knowing that Justin might not be her best option anymore, makes an effort to talk to Johnny. They head over to talk, and soon they are kissing. Everyone sees this, and Hunter knows she is possibly in trouble. Then Jesse Palmer makes an announcement. The first rose ceremony is upon us. Get ready. The first rose ceremony is here, and we know by simple math that 3 women are heading home. First, Andrew calls Teddy, she says yes, and then Brandon calls Serene, securing them even further as a strong couple. Then Michael calls Sierra, Logan then calls Shanae, Casey calls Brittany, then Jacob is up, and our first twist comes when he calls Lace instead of Kira or Haley. Then Lace accepts the rose, and then Justin is up and he calls Genevieve, finally making his decision about who he will pursue. Then it's Johnny's turn, and he suddenly switches it up and calls Victoria's name, leaving behind his short fling with Hunter. And last up is Romeo. He calls Jill's name. He takes this moment to apologize for his behavior this week and that giving a rose to her is a fresh start with or without him. Jill takes the rose and says yes to the new opportunity. And with all the roses handed out, Dr. Kira, Haley, and Hunter are headed home. Well, with the first rose ceremony in the books, we begin a new week where the women have the roses, switching up the power and the choice. And with things seemingly going smoothly, of course there are going to be some shakeups. And soon those shakeups arrive. It's the bromance couple from last season, Aaron and box guy James, and they show up ripped and ready to mingle. They arrive in paradise, both with a date card, and they are looking for a double date opportunity. But things get dicey as Aaron and James say hello to everyone, but Aaron wants to talk to Genevieve, who recently made up with Justin, and then James talks to Shanae, disappointing Logan. Meanwhile, Jacob is just eating a pineapple, not bothered by the new arrivals, and we see that Justin is starting to feel down as he feels that Genevieve is now a hypocrite as she is about to possibly go on a date with Aaron. And Aaron asks Genevieve, and James ends up asking Shanae. They both say yes to this double date, and there is some slight tension as Genevieve and Shanae have some history going on dates together, citing Clayton's season and the 2-on-1 date. But all that tension is immediately wiped away when everyone is having a good time at a resort poolside where there are some fun water activities going on, and surprisingly Genevieve and Shanae are having fun and getting along. Does Bachelor in Paradise bring out the better side to all of these contestants? Definitely something to think about. But while Logan and Justin are sad and reflecting on their relationships, Aaron and James are dancing and enjoying their double date with emerging friends Shanae and Genevieve. Crazy stuff is happening over here. And then we see Aaron and Genevieve talk about their potential relationship where they knew each other before Paradise but they were just friends, and Aaron is now interested in pursuing Genevieve romantically, and then they start kissing. Oh boy, what about Justin? Then we see Shanae and James talking, and Shanae thinks her connection with James is effortless, which makes her emotional as she doesn't know what to think about Logan anymore. But they end up kissing, and really a lot of shakeups are seeming to come out of nowhere in week 2. Back at the beach, there is a miserable energy lurking about as we see Jill and Romeo talking after their whirlwind first week together, and Jill makes it clear that she is not interested in him anymore and she is looking to move on with someone else. And then suddenly, Jared and Ashley I from Bachelor in Paradise seasons 2 and 3, who are married now and started a family, they are there to help out the contestants and give them advice about the relationships on the show. Everyone is very excited about them showing up, and we soon have a storytime session with Ashley I and the women on the beach. We learn that Jill is struggling and hoping for a new start after dealing with Romeo's wishy-washy behavior, and then Teddy speaks up about her concern that she isn't showing Andrew her affectionate side, and this bothers her as she's starting to question where she stands. Soon another man shows up in Paradise, and it's Rodney from Michelle's season. Everyone is very excited to see Rodney as many women are impressed with him. And then Rodney ends up talking to Jill, and then he talks to Teddy, and with Teddy they seem to connect and they have a conversation, but strangely after talking to Rodney, Teddy starts to severely doubt everything she started with Andrew. And then Teddy pulls Andrew to the farthest side of the beach, which isn't a good sign for this early couple, and Teddy tells Andrew the cold hard truth, that she isn't feeling as strongly for him as she would have hoped. Andrew is shocked as he thought things were going well, but then they decide to break up. And Teddy and Andrew are both upset about how they had so much anticipation about each other, but in the end it didn't work out. And then Teddy is really upset, and then she decides very rashly that she wants to leave Paradise immediately. And then she packs up and just leaves without telling anyone. And it's really just shocking as Teddy maybe just panicked about the whole situation, and when everyone finds out that Teddy just left, everyone on the beach is shocked and upset that she left without saying goodbye to anyone. Andrew is very upset and Serene is crushed, and really this affects the whole beach as it's a wake-up call that nothing is guaranteed and anything can happen in Paradise. And when Rodney has decided who he wants to take on the date, he asks everyone, "Where's Teddy?" And he finally finds out that Teddy just upped and left, leaving him shocked as well. And that's it for week 2 of Bachelor in Paradise Season 8, where new arrivals shake up early couples, and this is just the beginning of some whirlwind romance in paradise. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe at Whitney Alex Works for more recaps in the future, and see you next week for week 3 of Bachelor in Paradise, where the women have the power of the roses.